Welcome back on Diamond. Today I want to propose you a video about the unboxing review about the White Dwarf issue 503 released by the Game Social for August 2024. This is really quite intriguing of the White Dwarf because it starts bringing up quite a lot of interesting things. We can start from see the cover that it's really quite awesome, but I like the title because this it's about the League of Votann and there will be a part related about the Crusade part for the Rus, for the League of Votann, but also about the background for the League of Votann, and I quite like it. Moreover, there is also something that is related about the Astral Templars that you will see really a sort of little codex inside about with the background, with the rules, official rules to play for Age of Sigmar. So quite intriguing part, really quite amazing one. Then we can go to see about the contents. There are the usual things that are included, that are the part about the warhammer 40k mission here, and here the other side that it has the Age of Sigmar mission. This is particular because it's a re-elaboration of what it has been released in 2016, and so it's really quite an example of what I say usually, that it's about remember that you can take something from old versions and adapt to the new ones. This it's a perfect example because this is a re-elaboration of it. And here we have cards that are related about Underworld that I usually don't play, so eventually remember that you have such things here. But I want to say it's as usual, I don't like that are in such way, so in the middle of the White Dwarf, and they make the reading of it quite problematic. Still, okay, it's like it is. Now, what we have to admire, it's about the cover itself, that as I said, it's quite nice. Remember that there is the alternative cover you subscribed the White Dwarf itself, that is this one, and usually it's really quite amazing, but it's only when you do the subscription. It's without any variety and so on, so it's nice. I quite like it. Eventually remember that you have such option. So now we can simply open this and see the contents inside. Here you can find the introduction about the White Dwarf itself, and here the contents inside that, as I said, are really quite a lot, and here the inserts that are described, that are the ones that I showed you like this before. So now we can flip and we can find this, that it's the mailing list of the reader to the team of the White Dwarf, and I find it really quite intriguing. For example, this it's about a reader realized that Tonekeeper, that it's the chapter that the team of the White Dwarf developed by itself, so it can be really quite intriguing if you see. And okay, there are some things I mean that they really shortened a bit the amount of things that are here, but they are really quite nice still, so I find it still quite intriguing. You can find this, that it's an article that a lot of people will find it really quite intriguing because it's about the millennium lost of the history of Warhammer 40k. And so, other than the amazing images that are here, there is a description, for example, with this timeline, that it's amazing because it makes you see how it's related about the eras. So, for example, we are here now, and we are going toward the Horus Heresy here, and so on. So, there are quite a lot of things. Eventually, you can think about adding in this time scale also the part related about the various events, for example, the Dark Age of Technology and so on. So there are quite a lot of things that can be quite intriguing in such a way, because they make you understand how everything is related about what we can think about now. It's really something that I appreciate quite a lot, sincerely, because I find it really quite intriguing. Moreover, there are more points about some little details that could be really quite intriguing for the one interested, and I suggest you to read because there are a lot of amazing parts. Here there is about the bunkers, so how you can say excite you about playing and so on, making you have a target to create or to develop. So for example, paint or so on, it's always welcome. For example, to create the Spearhead League or so on, so something that really make you more intrigued about playing and so on. So I think that it's really quite interesting. And moreover, you can see here other images that I think that they are quite intriguing. Because here, for example, we have this, that it's an army of Tzinch that has technically beautiful colors, a bit too much really highlights in my opinion, but nice. So I quite like such things. Here the mission warhammer 40k that I showed you before, but here in the White Dwarf itself. So eventually if you lost or you remove the other one, you have still this one here. The same about warhammer Age of Sigmar, so eventually you can have the option. And here we have about underworld that usually it's missing from the White Dwarf. Here it's a sort of how it works, really. I'm not interested about playing it, but I find the miniatures that are related about underworld usually quite amazing, so I suggest you eventually to see them. Here analysis about how to create your army. In this case it's about the Adeptus Mechanicus, so you can have quite a lot of things, and again you can see things here to understand how to paint, how to create change and so on. That could be really quite intriguing. And here instead we have this, that it's an article about the team of the White Dwarf that personalize the things. So Shining Future, here if you remove here a second we can find other option, and they can be quite interesting because they show you how they done with the scheme of colors and so on, so it's nice in my opinion. Moreover, you can have quite a lot of inspiration parts, for example about tier, that it can be really quite intriguing. I quite like such type of miniature, and really a lot of things. Moreover, you have this that it's about how to paint the faces, usually using the contrast color, and how to start to also a base to paint. So I think that it's quite intriguing, and I'll try also other options in the future. So I think that it's really quite nice, even if I yet started with the Dark Oath and the Apothecary White for some schemes, so step by step, but it's nice. And then we have this, that it's a sort of mailing list of the reader, but simply with the models that are from a store of Warhammer 40k, in this case from the Oregon. And here you can find quite a lot of intriguing really parts, because you can find scheme of colors, little changes on that can be really quite amazing. And I suggest you to see about this thing, because they could be quite inspirational. So maybe for the scheme of color, maybe for some basing, maybe for some combination or some other that you discover, it can be quite nice. So I suggest you. Here we have the tale of 4 warlord, and it's always quite welcome, because in this case we have the part about the rules, because they want to have a battle report, in this case with armies that are 2500 points, so bigger than the usual, but they have some colossal part. For example with this, that it's the Lord of School, that it's quite nice. So for example we have a combination of Khorne and Nargol against the counterpart, that in this case are the Astra Militano, with this that it's the Zone Ward, that it's an alternative version of the Baneblade. Here instead we have for the Marines the ones that it's the Space Marines and the Imperial Fist, and here the League of Votann, so it can be really quite intriguing. And as usual I suggest you eventually to see such type of battle report, because you can learn a game, you can verify some rules, you can simply see some models in action, or eventually some shining features that you could be represent, or you can create maybe some duels or so on that you find here. So I think that there can be really quite a lot of intriguing parts, and so it can be again something that you can have a referral to learn a game, to verify a game, or to simply see something new, because maybe you play some other games and you want to understand how it's played. So quite nice. Then we have this, that it's about the boarding pattern. Here it's a sort of spot, because GW released lately a new book that it's a condensing part about the boarding pattern. Here are an analysis about the rules for it. I don't like such type of games, sincerely. I prefer to play Space Hulk if it happens, so okay, but it's an option, so I suggest eventually to see. And here the part about the League of Votann, so the background, and if you don't have, for example, the codex of the Leagues of Votann, it could be quite intriguing to learn a bit more about the background itself of such an army, that it's always welcome. I quite like such things, and I think that it's really nice, in my opinion, because they can give you quite a lot of information, and I think that it's an amazing one. And here the campaign rules related about the Crusade, so you can find the rules to play, and I think that it's quite intriguing. As usual, I like more for the photos, okay, but anyway, it can be nice. If you play the Crusade part, it could be really quite awesome because you have the campaign, the rules about the Crusade itself, so it can be nice in my opinion, and I think that it could be really quite awesome for the ones that play such type of game. Here we have something that is related about the League of Votann, but special because it's a scenario related, and here I think that it's worth because you can learn quite a lot from the scenario itself. So maybe how you can combine different things, you can have quite a lot of inspiration about, and even the little part like here, you could use them as a referral to create new scenarios, smaller ones maybe, that could be really quite intriguing part in my opinion for having, or to create smaller scenarios or dioramas. I think that it's quite nice. Or you can study the photos to recreate some effect that could be about lighting, to realize some type of photos and so on. I think that there are quite a lot of things that could be useful or to use to make some referral for other armies and so on. So here you can find a lot of inspiration, and because this I think that it's really quite amazing this way. And then we move on Age of Sigmar with the Astral Templars, the background and the rules. Here we have the rules, so it's an official adding to the rules. So even if it's not has been yet released, the Stomcast Etternals Battleton, the new one, but remember that you had the free rules for the Stomcast Etternals on the site of warhammer community about, so it can be really quite intriguing, and you can have quite a lot because here you have really literally a sort of little army here, and I think that it's really quite intriguing in such a way. And we have also, other than the rules, also the background, and it's quite nice because they can give you a way to understand more about such type of armies. The background related, more intense related, so I think that it can be really quite awesome. And also a little novel related, again quite a lot of intriguing parts. Instead we have this that it's about the rules of engagement, that it's related about how to play with the and the spells. That could be, or the manifestation as they call it now, but I think that it could be really quite intriguing, sort of tactical article to play with, could be quite intriguing. So it's a way to understand better how they work, the mechanics and so on, so it could be interesting. And then we move on Horus Heresy with this. As usual, I don't play Horus Heresy, but I love the models of Horus Heresy, moreover the here the motors, the levitating motors and so on. I think that they are really quite fantastic, and they are really quite amazing to see because you can see what has been listed about. It's always nice in my opinion because it's always something that it could be really quite intriguing to see different armies. Okay, they are mainly related about the Marines because they publish only Marines about, but you can really see the personalization, different style with the same models. I think that it's really quite awesome in my opinion, so I quite like. Okay, so it's nice, moreover because there is also the Sons of Sanguinius, and you know that I like the Bloodenders, so it's really quite intriguing. Again, that antique cover, and here we have the end of White Dwarf, and we can see that the next one we see again something related about the Leagues of Votann. So I'm quite curious to see what it will be about, because the models of the League of Votann are amazing ones, so it's intriguing, I think. And I notice only now that there is such defect here about the printing, because if you notice here there is this part that it's printed okay, and this part not, so a strange effect I think. Okay, I simply have a strange copy. I had to verify in the future if the other ones that I seen in the store are without this, and it's only my copy of some, but okay, it's not something that it's a problem, because I prefer that the volume it's perfect in all the other parts. This I haven't noticed, so not a problem, but it's also quite peculiar, so it's distinctive in this one. Okay, I'm not worried, because sincerely it's this I can accept, because I haven't noticed and it was something that I should have seen eventually, but okay, I take note. Anyway, what to say about such White Dwarf? I think that it's really quite amazing. If you're interested about Warhammer 40k, you had the League of Votann that are amazing. If you're interested about Age of Sigmar, you had the Astral Templars. So it's really quite a lot of things. Also the part about the battle report, about the images that are available for the different models and so on. Maybe it's not one of the richest in the meaning of the amount of conversion and so on, but there are really quite a lot of things that are quite intriguing that can inspire you. And this is something that I quite like. Maybe not the best, but surely quite rich. And I quite like it. So eventually say if you figure otherwise or so on, because I think that it has quite a lot of value, this number of the White Dwarf. At least for now, only for the White Dwarf. I decided to put in the description the link about my wish list for Amazon if you are interested about making me a gift about. I know it's the first time that I do, so I hope that it works. Anyway, it's something that it's a try. Don't feel that you have to do or so on. It's simply something that if you want to cooperate with me to give me some things that maybe I use then as a review or so on, it could be useful, or that can be useful also for the channel. So eventually you have a thing that you can share with. So from that mode, it's everything. I invite you to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell so to receive notification about new video, to comment under here about this video, or if you want to suggest me new videos. So I hope to see you again to the next time.